2023 continues here at Breese Stevens Field. Matches are dwindling for Forward Madison and the Chattanooga Red Wolves, yet so many questions are still to be answered. Tonight's match, brought to you by Dairyland, will bring us one step closer to some of those answers. Welcome one and all to this broadcast on ESPN+. My name is Mark Schoenster, excited to be describing the action for you tonight. This is the fourth meeting this season between these two teams. Two Jägermeister Cup clashes, then this is the second of the two regular season matches, both of which have taken place recently. Well, at least the other one happening tonight. The other one happening just back in September. A 3-1 victory on the road for Forward Madison. They've won all three meetings this season between Chattanooga. It's going to be really tough to win four because Chattanooga have played them tough in every single game. You'll see the game winner here from Wolfgang Prentice to make it 2-1. Then Aiden Macias would score an extra insurance goal to make the final score 3-1 in favor of the Mingos just over a month ago. And this Mingos team has a lot of different goal-scoring options, and the biggest of them, as of right now, is Juan Galindrez in league play. With a goal in back-to-back games, he now leads the side in regular season goals. Pair that up with the dastardly attacking prowess of Christian Shaney and Devin Boyce. They're tough to beat, but they're also tough to score on because Bernd Shipman leads the league in clean sheets in the regular season, and he can tack on a couple more of those clean sheets in the Jägermeister Cup. Here in his second year, he has only continued his great performances from his debut season. And he's so good at organizing on that back end side for Matt Glazer. He's also crucial in their build-up play. He's certainly not just a shot stopper. He is integral to the way they work that ball up the field. A team that so enjoys possession, and Bernd Shipman is one of those 11 players on the field enjoying having the ball. But he's also going to have his hands full tonight with a couple of dangerous attacking players, but no more dangerous than Ropapa Mensah, 8 goals this season. And he'll be looking to combine with the likes of Lucas Coutinho, Stefan Lukic, and others to get to the back of the net after scoring last week against one Knoxville. If he can get into a goal-scoring tear, this Chattanooga team, who are trying to jump above that playoff line, are going to have their chances explode if he is hitting the back of the net. Well, Madison, without rest and on the road, were tough enough to beat. Now they're rested and at home, but Chattanooga has played them hard in every meeting this season. So is today the day they get the leg up on the Mingos? It's Forward Madison and the Chattanooga Red Wolves up next on ESPN+.
It's an S.
Oh, not bad. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindrez. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know? I can juggle. Justin.
Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground. Justice from the ground up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
We welcome you into Breese Stevens Field an hour later than we anticipated due to a weather delay. But alas, we're here and ready for some football between Forward Madison and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster. We welcome you in on ESPN Plus. Hope you're doing well wherever you're tuning in from. Whether you are a Madison fan who couldn't make it out to the game, a Chattanooga fan watching from Tennessee, here are your starting lineups brought to you by the Madison Concourse Hotel. For Matt Glazer's side, a lot of roster rotation last week. This time around, 2 changes between that win against the Charlotte Independents on the road and this lineup. Timmy Mell in for Michael Chilaka, and Aiden Macias steps in for John Murphy. But it's always worth highlighting Juan Galindrez and Christian Chaney, that dangerous big pairing up top. Both of them have the propensity to bully around defenders and find the back of the net themselves. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, 0 changes from their fixture with 1 Knoxville. You see here, it's listed as a 4-3-3. It may look more like a 4-5-1 at times. Lucas Coutinho and Pedro Hernandez will both definitely at times play further back. They've been more conservative as of late, playing in a lower block, trying to be more stout defensively, and it has worked. So Scott McKenzie been pleased with the defensive output. Now it's a matter of, can they get the ball back more often, and can those 3 guys up top create the chances necessary to find the back of the net against a stout Madison defense who've been so stubborn all season long when it comes to conceding goals. The players are ready to go. We're ready to go in the broadcast booth. Now we just await the go-ahead from our head official, Atahan Yaya. And we're ready to go here between Chattanooga and Madison for the 4th time this year. Once again, the Mingos have won the 3 last meetings this season. 2 times in the Jägermeister Cup, 1 time over a month ago in the regular season. But this Chattanooga team, in each of those games, has played them fairly tightly, and as a matter of fact, has scored first in the past 2 meetings. So this is a Chattanooga team at times that has been looking at a tentative 3 points against Madison, but the Mingos, who have been a resilient side all season long, are able to come back and secure all 3 points in those past 2 fixtures. Here's Devin Boyce. Boyce to Galindrez, taps it back, Boyce shoots, and it's off the mark. So an early opportunity for forward Madison. Laid off by Juan Galindrez. And this Dairyland replay. I know we highlighted the 2 big guys up top, but Devin Boyce, another potent goal scorer on this Madison team. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by UBS. So for Madison, this is going to be a game where they may be enjoying a lot of possession. This Chattanooga team has been absorbing a lot of pressure as of late, and Madison are more than comfortable having the ball. As a matter of fact, that's usually the way they prefer to play. So with Christian Chaney and Juan Galindrez out there, it may be at times difficult to break this Chattanooga side. So perhaps your best option is to just feed those big guys and see if they could force open some space with their physicality, or perhaps you can lob the ball to them in the air where they can rise up and potentially find that finishing touch. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, they've been good defensively these past few games, and Scott McKenzie said, the one thing I'd like to tweak is that we have given up a ton of possession due to that. So let's try and get that ball back a little bit more often. Let's have more of the ball. That's going to be a super tough task here this evening, because I don't think there's a team in the league that enjoys having the ball more than forward Madison. Super comfortable in possession. Say it's one of the contributors to why they've been so good on the defensive end, because obviously, maybe a Captain Obvious moment, but you can't get scored on if you have the ball. Though in League One, in many cases, and this year and years past, a lot of the times the best goal-scoring opportunities for teams have come in a moment where the ball is lost, and so you don't get set up in that block. You can attack a team in transition. I Remember in years past where teams with less possession were more likely to win games, but Madison falling back into what is the more commonplace school of thought when it comes to teams more likely to win the game through using possession as the indicator. You hear the drumming, you see the fans all huddled about here at Breese Stevens Field. Back home at last for Forward Madison. If you've been tuning into these broadcasts, these games, as of late, the story has been told. The Mingos have been on the road, and they've been everywhere. They've been traveling miles upon miles, and it has not been in a stretched span of time. 2 Saturdays ago, they were in northern Colorado for the Jägermeister Cup. Quickly had a turnaround to play on Tuesday in Tennessee against One Knoxville, and then played on Friday against the Charlotte Independents. That is 3 games within the span of 7 days, all of which on the road, including a highly emotional cup final. And they were able to, after suffering a loss via penalties in the final, get 4 points in those next 2 games, which is wildly impressive. Matt Glazer shouted out the organization for making that possible. He said, we did everything we could to make it as easy as possible on the guys. He said from travel to recovery, they did everything they could to check as many boxes they could check. He said the group stuck together and did a good job overall. In particular, he shouted out John Pascarella, who was leaned on with his background in sports science. How much could a player go? How much could a player, how many minutes could they play in a game? How much rest would they need in between days? What to eat, when to be working out and stretching. It's such a finicky process when you have to contort that around traveling. Definitely impressive from Madison this past week. Meanwhile, Chattanooga coming up a 1-1 draw at home against One Knoxville, game where they conceded late after being up 1-0. Holding that thought for a moment as Devin Boyce has the ball. Villalobos. Rotated around a couple more times. See us light on his feet. Is it out wide? One draw. This one is crossed inside, headed upward, not out of the fray. Lucas Coutinho got a piece of it. And now it's cleared out by Omar Hernandez. It was an overall good performance against Knoxville, though. Scott McKenzie was telling me. Said obviously we're disappointed to concede late because we limited them to very few chances throughout the game. I think he counted around 4 at most, and that's when he started getting pretty generous with what he would decide and determine as a chance. I mentioned we had a couple of high percentage opportunities, but Gary Bay, the goalkeeper for Knoxville, made some great saves, so there's not much you can do about that. Would have loved to come away with 3 points, but he was happy with the way his team stepped up and played in that game against One Knoxville. A good side, already locked up a playoff spot. Chattanooga still in contention for that 8th and final spot. Let's take a look at our injury report, brought to you by UW Sports Medicine, UW Health Sports Medicine. So you've got Agustin Davila, who picked up a knock this week amongst the travels for Forward Madison. Meanwhile, Red Torria and Gomez are out as Cheney shoots and it's saved. TJ Bush falling onto that one. So 2 players out for Chattanooga, 1 for Madison, as we get our first moment for either goalkeeper to step up and make a play. That is another save on the list of many for TJ Bush this year. He leads the league in that regard. 90 saves. Well, now you can make it 91. It's definitely a mixed review statistic to have, though, of course, having the most save shots in the league, because you don't want to be the goalkeeper who has to be the one who makes all those saves, but it's better that than to have a lot of shots go your way and you let more of them in. So, not to mention, there have been some good teams that have had the goalkeeper that led in that regard. Like, for example, Austin Pack last year broke the League One record for saves in a season, and yet Charlotte made it all the way to the League One final. So it's not an end-all be-all bad indicator, I would say. Well, Bernd Shipman nowhere near that. 41 saves this season. So that is under half the amount of saves that TJ Bush has had to make. As a matter of fact, Bernd Shipman has had 57 shots on target go his way in league play this year to TJ Bush's 131. So I think right there, that is the perfect moment to emphasize that clean sheets are a team stat. Nice to make the argument on the flip side. Even though Bernd Shipman has not had to make that many saves this year, does not mean he's not a bad goalkeeper. Obviously, he's a very high-quality one. Much like most statistics, extra context is usually helpful. Gebhard taps it back to Macias. Returns the favor. Kroll whips in across. Still in danger. Stephen Payne got a piece of it. Falls back to Payne. He wasn't ready for it. Cleared away by Jamil Roberts. A couple of moments there for Madison. Off the Jake Kroll cross. Villalobos playing this one back to Osman. This game opening out as you would anticipate. Madison enjoying a lot of the ball. We'll see if, as the game goes on, if Chattanooga can acclimate themselves into the game and start having possession and pushing it forward. But 11 minutes in, over 11 minutes in, it has been all Madison controlling the tempo and having possession. It's the Madison team that, on the end of that little, not little, but big road stretch, ended with a 4-2 victory against the Charlotte Independents at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Quite the outstanding result. It's a game that you know you're exhausted going into, and you have to play a top quality foe in the Jacks of Charlotte. And they go down early in that game. Not early, but they go down first in that game about 30 minutes in. A free kick. Well taken free kick. You would imagine that'd be easy for players to hang their heads and give up then, but Matt Glazer said we stuck to our idea, to who we are, which is what we've done all year. And that hasn't changed throughout the season either. That identity, that is. They dominated the ball, created great chances, and then made the necessary runs they needed to make. And I think that's the most important part to emphasize, because anytime a player gets on their horse in game 3 in a week, including several days of travel in between them, you have to tip the cap to those players for being in the shape to be able to make those runs. Definitely a confidence builder there for Madison last week as we get this breakaway opportunity. Hernandez shoots it, saved. Shipman came way off his line to meet him there. And it was a wise decision from the German goalkeeper. Pedro Hernandez with the lovely through ball there from Ropapa Mensah. Comes right up to the edge of the penalty area. Bert Shipman does, makes the necessary stop. Now we're gonna get a corner kick for the first time this evening. And really, the first moment in this game for Chattanooga, just having the ball. Here's a cross, punched away by Shipman. Now Roberts whips in another cross. Mensah got on the end of it, but no heat to that one. So Chattanooga, one breakaway opportunity, and then two crosses via a corner kick. And now Madison have the ball once again. But a huge chance there for the Red Wolves. And those are the kind of opportunities that maybe lying dormant and waiting to open up for themselves. They certainly got the talent to capitalize when those moments come, with the likes of Ropapa Mensah, Lucas Coutinho out there too. He's a creative player. Pedro Hernandez, an absolute workhorse. And then they do have the off-the-bench option of Mael Malongo, who is another weapon going forward. No Siobhan Marsh here. So that's one piece of the puzzle that is not available here today. It's not listed on the injury report. May have been a late game scratch as Coutinho gets it tapped out to him. Knocked away from him. We're gonna get our first booking. Pedro Hernandez going into the books. These yellow cards brought to you by Dairyland. Here's a look at the contact again on the Dairyland replay. So, yep, just off the mark there on that challenge, Pedro Hernandez. Was a little late. Didn't make any contact with the ball and just gets the boot of Stephen Payne. It's gonna get you into the books. Back into play here. Madison will knock their way forward. They'll do it so with patience. Well, that's what I thought they were going to do. Cheney brings this one down. Cheney squares it across into the hands of TJ Bush. Usually a team that likes to build up, but when they see the avenue to strike, why not lob it up the pitch to Christian Cheney? A big target. Coutinho keeping that one in bounds. Going around to cover that effort. So a very short-lived spell with the ball for Chattanooga. Chattanooga team that Scott McKenzie is feeling really bullish about right now. He said the atmosphere is undeniably the best it's been all season with his group. He says, we have the collective now. Spent a good chunk of time talking about Pedro Hernandez and Jamil Roberts and just the effort they put into training every day. And Scott McKenzie said that those two are part of the reason why we've gotten to this point and that this mentality is so good right now. Boyce for Madison, though. Dishes it out to Gebhard. Gebhardt slicing that one inside, nodded away. Hernandez able to clear that one out for Chattanooga. Now it's Boyce. Galindra is trying to juggle that one into his clutches. Glazer, looking at this Chattanooga team, said that, yeah, they play in a little more low than they used to, so it's a more condensed team. But they've got some good players, and they have a lot of respect for what Chattanooga can do. And he acknowledged just how tough these games have been between Chattanooga and Madison, even if they've been on the winning end of all of them. And then you add in the fact that maybe there's going to be a little extra feistiness from Chattanooga as they're fighting for that playoff spot. Which, by the way, results have gone well in favor of Chattanooga today concerning that race. Yesterday, two of the proponents in that competition, Richmond and Tormenta, drawing, which is the ideal result. Payne sends that one inside. And then Lexington having a 1-0 lead, end up losing 2-1 on the road against Omaha earlier. Another one of the competitors in that race for the 8th seed. So if Chattanooga can find a victory here against Madison, they would take that spot in the 8th seed, going out of the weekend, of course. Still 2 more matches to play after that for not only Chattanooga, but Lexington, Tormenta, Richmond. Central Valley Fuego also not eliminated, but certainly further of a opportunity for them to reach the playoffs than those other listed teams. Meanwhile, Madison, as far as the table is concerned, trying to keep up with Union Omaha. At first, the result today was looking favorable with the Owls down 1-0 against Lexington, but Omaha getting all 3 points. Macias still going. He takes a tumble just outside the penalty area. Stefan Lukic tripping him up and getting a yellow card. Here is the confirmation. The yellow card to Lukic, brought to you by Dairyland. And now we get a free kick here for the Mingos. Devin Boyce scored a banger of a free kick against Chattanooga. The last time these two teams played here at Breese-Stevens Field was a game winner on this end of the pitch, but further over to the left. You see the challenge again from the Serbian. See what Madison cooks up here and how Chattanooga will handle it. TJ Bush will place down his wall and see the ideal positioning for it. It's Boyce, Cheney, and the captain, Mitch Osmond, by the dead ball. But Cheney gonna drift away. So who will take this? I imagine the expectation is Devin Boyce, but Osmond's right there. Devin Boyce fires off the face of Lukic. Little extra punishment for that yellow card challenge. And we may have a moment to check up because Lukic did have some head contact and might be ringing a little bit between the ears there. Taking a high velocity ball straight to the face. And the ref, Atahan Yaya, has to stop play to make sure that he's good to go and he gets cleared by the training staff. Oof. Well, it's a good thing he jumped, though, because that kept that from getting over the wall. It's the sacrifice you make being part of that group of players, given that duty. Stefan Lukic, 6'1", 4 assists this season. Fans, check out all the exciting postseason action starting in November as the USL playoffs presented by Terminix showcase the top teams battling it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLLeague1.com for all the latest playoff information. We know Madison will be there. Chattanooga want to be there. So the Red Wolves do have to hold out Stefan Lukic, and he'll get waved back into the game. Once the center official opts to do so, he'll get a chance to chat with his manager, Scott McKenzie, in the meantime. Gebhard with another service, headed away by Roberts. And Madison will get their first corner kick of the day, a Canopy Wealth Management corner kick. Canopy Wealth Management is donating $50 to Forward Madison FC's mini pitch fundraising project for each home corner kick taken by Forward Madison FC. Devin Boyce will delegate responsibilities to Kroll, but he'll remain on standby until he gets waved off by Kroll. He's got it. Jake Kroll, 27 years old. Always a reliable player on this Madison team. Gets it right back. Here's his service, bending in! And it's gonna be a foul on Christian Cheney. TJ Bush caught the ball and then got knocked into his own goal. The 6'2" striker Christian Cheney came bulldozing in. It'll be a free kick for Chattanooga. That one's gonna leave a mark on TJ Bush. That one looked like it might go into the goal itself, and it almost did. TJ Bush was there for it, though. And then Cheney going for the header. Gets a whole lot of TJ Bush in the process. Ouch. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Select matches, including the championship final, will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Boyce pops this one up ahead for Cheney. Headed away from him for a moment. Perhaps a moment where Cheney could have left it for Payne. This one glances over to that corner. Roberts will let it roll out. And it's a corner kick, so Roberts, assuming it touched a Madison player last, misreading the situation, gives them another corner kick, brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management. Kroll sends in the cross, whistle blows. Looks to have been some contact within the penalty area, which our head officials looking to discourage. So a corner kick opportunity going to the wayside for Madison. Scott McKenzie looking at this Madison team. He talked a little bit about the last week Madison had, and he said, I mean, what a week, very impressive from them. He said they've been so consistent all year. He talked about the energy between John Murphy and Devin Boyce as a combo, and he mentioned that they're going to need to match that energy coming into the game today. Now, granted, it's only Devin Boyce in the starting lineup for Matt Glazer today. John Murphy, potentially a guy who will come off the bench, though, at some point in time in this game. He said they're very good defensively, have a clear identity. And he eyeballed Juan Galindrez, former Red Wolf, loves to score against Chattanooga, excuse me. We'll be looking to exploit certain areas of Madison's game and slow down the things that really make this Madison team work. Green plays this down the field. Hernandez. It's tapped out by Gebhardt for a Chattanooga throw. Let's see if the Red Wolves can enjoy some possession here in the attacking half. It has primarily been Madison for almost the entirety of this game. Roberts rolls this one back. I'll go all the way back to TJ Bush, the goalkeeper. That one down the field, TJ Bush, and Madison reclaim possession for a moment, and it's ripped up the field once again for Chattanooga, only for it to fall into the hands of Bernd Shipman. Bear Insurance is a proud sponsor of Forward Madison FC. They're based in Madison and have provided protection and peace of mind to businesses and individuals throughout the state of Wisconsin since 1928. Nil-nil after 30 minutes here. Madison been enjoying the ball. Still scoreless between these two sides. Currently possession favors Madison 66%. Thought maybe that would be what would end up happening here. Chattanooga, a team that's been conceding possession more so recently, and Madison always a side to take more of the ball no matter who they're playing. As Galindrez pushes it forward. Galindrez still going, chips it upward. And TJ Bush claims the ball, and a foul is called. Now the question is, both players went tumbling down. Looks like it'll be a foul on Juan Galindrez. And now the medical unit needs to come out to check up on defender who went with Galindrez there. Wasn't clear who was marking Galindrez, but we see it now. Declan Waters and Owen Green nearby. Green, he got hit in the face there. He's the one who's down on the ground. A guy who's been around the block in USL League One. He's played for Tormenta in Lexington. And made his way over here to Chattanooga earlier on this season. Promising moment of opportunity for Madison, but the Red Wolves doing everything they can to keep Juan Galindrez from getting that shot off. Some of the feistiness that you should anticipate from this Red Wolf team, not only tonight, but in these following two games after this. I asked Matt Glazer, how much do you talk about the fact that the other team is in a spot where they need results to make the playoffs? And he said it's good to have context, so we talked to the players about it. There's a lot to play for on both sides. So we remind them for clarity's sake, but these guys also are familiar. They've been in that position before. Last year, after obviously making the playoffs, and we're in that tight playoff race. And then the year before that, Madison just barely missed out on the playoffs. A team that was definitely in the conversation that first year and then just petered off at the end of the season. Ended up landing in 9th in 2022, but this was a Madison team that definitely was in the conversation throughout the year. Talked about how much possession Madison has had in this game, but it is 0-0, and that's been the story as of late for Chattanooga. Scott McKenzie said it himself, look, last 2 games, we've conceded 1 goal, which is a massive improvement for earlier in the year when Chattanooga was leaking goals defensively at times. And he said, we've demonstrated that we're hard to beat. But they have given away a lot of possession, so they want to get some of that back. That hasn't been the case here in the first half, but the solace they could take is that it has been hard for Madison to break down this Chattanooga side. And all it takes is a moment. I mean, we saw the opportunity Pedro Hernandez had earlier. That can happen in the blink of an eye. So 10 more minutes plus whatever is added on here. First half of action. Game that was supposed to start at 6 o'clock Eastern time, or 5 o'clock Central time here in Madison. Got pushed back an hour due to a weather delay. Villalobos knifing that one up the field to Payne. Matt Glazer, what are some of the things he wants to see from his team here in this final 3 games of the season as this one's given away? Another long ball from Chattanooga. Certainly have an objective when they win the ball back to quickly go vertical with it. Matt Glazer said, first and foremost, we want to finish as high as possible in the standings. The goal last year as a team was to make the playoffs. The goal this year is to host a playoff game. They hit the objective last season, still has some work to do to guarantee they hit their objective this season. Currently in a good position to do so, but it is oh so tight in the USL League One table. It's critical to meet that goal. Matt Glazer explaining, because once you get to the playoffs, it's just a series of one-off games where both teams are gonna throw everything at it. So you want the edge in as many aspects as possible, and playing at home is certainly an edge. We're gonna get a yellow card here. Omar Hernandez going into the books. 3rd yellow card on the Red Wolves here in this half. Omar Hernandez, his first yellow card in league play this season. Dalton, Georgia. Just a push in the back on Aiden Macias. That's pretty clear as day. You could argue just how physical that push was, but if you extend your arms, put them into the back of a player and the player goes down, you're asking for that foul and a yellow card to come your way, especially. And Aiden Macias was entering a dangerous area. It'll be Devin Boyce again from range. Boyce steps up. curls this one in. And it made contact with Jacob Kroll, but he puts his hands on his head because he had the opportunity to do something with that ball. But it didn't glance right. Looks like it went right off of his thigh. He'll be wishing he'd done better there. Select the official match ball supplier of USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Flock end enjoying having the Mingos back at home after several games on the road for Forward Madison. We're shouting out, though, that Mingo contingent that made their way up to Windsor for that Jägermeister Cup final game. Sliding challenge there from Mitch Osmond, clears the ball out. Last time Madison was home was September 21st. For a game, that is. Cheney interjects here. Tries to distribute to Gebhard. Now Chattanooga will have the ball for a bit. For all you Chattanooga fans tuning in at Jonathan's Grill, I hope you're having a fantastic night. Make sure you tip well as you enjoy some food and drink while watching the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Galindrez trying to get that one around Owen Green. Green does well there to earn the deflection off of one Galindrez. Galindrez, an artist of many magical moments in a Red Wolf shirt. Became notorious for his late game goals to salvage points, to turn a draw into a win. He ended up doing it in a playoff game. Had a flair for the dramatic, that's for certain. And he still has a penchant for highlight goals, including some of them being against the Red Wolves. Payne, still going with it. Tries to sift it inside for Christian Cheney. Matt Glazer on the receiving end of that clearance. Boyce rolls this over to Villalobos. Jimmy Villalobos trying to get that out wide to Payne, but Lucas Coutinho interjecting. Now here's Mel. Overshooting Juan Galindrez. Lucas Coutinho there showing some fervent defending. He's gonna give you that effort. Scott McKenzie said, we all know Lucas Coutinho is a creative, intelligent player, but for a guy with all the attributes and the skills, he's willing to work out of possession. He said, we need all our guys to work, and he does that. But of course, he's a pretty magical player on the offensive end and scored the last time these two teams, or as a contributor last time these two teams met. Boyce playing this one across. Whistle blows as the player goes down, and there'll be another free kick for Chattanooga. Coutinho scored in that Jägermeister Cup game the last time they played here at Bree Stevens Field. Coutinho's only goal this year. He'll look to tack on his first assist of the season. Mensa trying to hack that one through. It's going to be a Chattanooga throw-in. Leffy, a long-time Red Wolf man. Anyways, he's Mr. Chattanooga Red Wolves, as this one's well played through. Lukic floats this one up for Mensa! Couldn't bring it down. A well-worked opportunity for the visitors, and it'll be a corner kick. Omar Hernandez steps to the plate, brings in the cross. Not out of danger yet. Now effectively done so, I believe, by Jimmy Villalobos. Green puts it back towards the mixer. Melindres playing us up ahead to Devin Boyce. Breakaway chance for Madison here. Devin Boyce still going with it. Boyce whips it inside, claimed by TJ Bush. As we now stop play for the hurt Omar Hernandez. You have noticed just a moment ago, 7 minutes of stoppage time added on, brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. Breakaway chance to start off those 7 extra minutes. Had a couple of moments of stoppage, a couple of hurt players. Several yellow cards. 7 minutes is still quite the tally to pick up. Lukic. The outside of his boot. He's looking to combine there with Hernandez. Couple more moments moving forward here for Chattanooga. It is still a half possession-wise controlled by the Mingos. Madison will once again go on the prowl. Kroll lofting in another ball, looking for Cheney. That's a great catch by TJ Bush. Christian Cheney in frustration, kicking one of the extra select balls. It has rolled its way onto the pitch. So Bush will do a service there, knock it away. That's a great catch from TJ Bush. Looks like an NFL tight end out there. Mensa. High velocity ball up ahead. He's looking for Coutinho, who gives the thumbs up. He likes the idea. And it won't be a goal kick. So Lucas Coutinho waving in help. It's going to be a deep throw in for Madison. In the corner of the flock end. Just the supporter areas for Forward Madison. You see just how many people here at Breese Stevens Field. It's always a jam-packed crowd. Having Indigenous Peoples Night here tonight at Breese Stevens Field. They're selling special scarves designed by a local Indigenous artist, and where part of the proceeds go to the She Rises Collective, which supports Indigenous women in business. Hernandez slicing that one through. Lukic winding up for the shot, takes a glance. They were looking for a handball. Coutinho dancing about. Still Coutinho plays it in. No one on the receiving end except for Bert Shipman. Some more positive moments here for Chattanooga as this half wears on. Is there one more chance for Madison here? They venture some ball. Out of play for a goal kick. Got about 2 more minutes to go, roughly. Visibly frustrated Christian Chaney at this point in the game. Boyce taking it to the outside, tap it back to Stephen Payne. Kroll rolling this over to the left-hand side to Gebhard. Marked by Hernandez. Gebhard with a move, sends it inside through the hands of Bush, and headed out for a corner kick by Lucas Coutinho. But don't break for Chattanooga on the defensive end. Here's a look on the Dairyland replay. Well worked by Gebhard. It is a cross awfully close to goal, but Bush couldn't quite bring it in. So it'll be another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick, authored by Jacob Kroll. That one having a lot of air underneath it. Still in the mixer. Well, Effie changes that. Payne retreating. Just has Lucas Coutinho in his vicinity before playing it back to Shipman. That was opportune. And it will go off of Omar Hernandez last after putting in the effort to take a stab and try to win possession back and have a quick transition moment for Chattanooga. We've hit the 7 minutes. Now it's up to our head official to blow the whistle. Coutinho plays it up to Mensah, plays it right back. 2 players in one spot. Lucas Coutinho steps inside. Still Coutinho with the outside of his boot, looking to feed Mensah. And your halftime whistle sounds here. We're going into the break the same way we started. 0-0 between Chattanooga and Madison. Both sides with some good chances after 50+ minutes, but neither could break through. So that is where we will go to break for the half. Got some good halftime content coming your way here on ESPN+. Of course, we'll catch you up on some of the highlights from the previous week's action. And we'll also give you some updates on what's going on around the league as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season. 2 playoff spots still on the line. Madison trying to guarantee a playoff home game. Chattanooga looking to claim one of those 2 open spots. 0-0 your score after 45 plus. We'll be back after this break.
Tomorrow, we've been expecting you. At TrueStage, we've been preparing for tomorrow for almost a century, helping businesses give their customers, members, and clients what they need to move forward with confidence. Because for us, the future brings possibility, protection, innovation, growth. With financial solutions across insurance, investments, and technology, the people you serve can take on tomorrow, today. So what are you waiting for? Tomorrow, here we come.
It's an S.
Oh, not bad. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Da, 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 da. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground up. Justice from the ground up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
We're back here for the Just Coffee Co-op halftime show. Scoreless after 45 plus between the Mingos and the Red Wolves here in Bree Stevens Field. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster. Excited to be giving you all the halftime content here on ESPN Plus. Let's take a look at the highlights from last week in USL League One action. Who's able to deflect it back out. There's some pressure. John Murphy shoots, it's saved by Lewis. Here comes Galindres! Juan Galindres gives the Mingos the lead. Ross still going, he shoots! And Frank Ross levels the score sheet.
Laid off, Gallardo, Joe Gallardo, a marvelous save, and the stick back is a simple finish. Our own goal. Maneuvered into the box. A whiplashing strike. Swings in. Broken up and punched home. Back to back. Result certainly not going to happen at this rate. Union Omaha fighting it out for the first spot. Flung in, flipped out. Oh my goodness! Wow, just wow!
To find the pieces. First corner is in! A header just a few yards out, and just like that, Hailstorm take the lead on the road.
And God will take it. Oh, it's brilliant. He went to the keeper's side, and it was so well placed. He finds the back of the net. A lot of bend on the corner, finds Chilaka, and his header finds the bottom corner. Boyce. It goes through, and it finds the back of the net. Good first touch. Juan Galindres into the box. The chance there finds the bottom corner. This is pushed away. That was speculative. It comes through and it finds the back of the net. Over the top. One-on-one with the goalkeeper around. Shipman drags it across. It's tapped home. Obregon, a 13th goal of the season.
Nico Brown. With the cross inside! And it's in! Christian Liu Young nodding that one home. Herrera. Nice ball forward for Castro! And it's deflected in! One own goal for another. Back to Velasquez. Velasquez takes a shot, and Velasquez! Holy smokes! The Colombian, Sebastian Velasquez.
The climb that much steeper for the Red Wolves. Service, top of the area. The hat fall and Waters. Quick slide through. Mensah! Electro has to work on Routers. Wants the center. Back post. Benton is down. Rebound scores! It's Knoxville. Fernandez. We're tied.
Hernandez on the volley. Oh my word! Marky Hernandez out of this world. Short corner allowed to bounce and it's in. And it's Marky Hernandez again. They're on with Ethan Horde, searching for a fourth. Robles searching for his second, instead finds Noah Powder. It is a fourth for the Hailstorm.
Some wonderful goals being scored last week. Let's see if we're going to get any here in this one. 0-0 between Madison and Chattanooga after 45 plus. We'll be back after this break with some news and notes around the league. We'll see you then.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
We love each other and we love this city and we love this club. It's everything.
I just make sure that my voice is good to go because I probably only got a half to use it.
We used to tell people in the supporter section, go hard or don't be here, right?
Lots of chanting, lots of loudness.
It's electric. It's loud, it's exciting.
195 days they waited. This was a glorious victory at home.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, sweet. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
It's an S.
I'm not bad. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Ta, 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 ta. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground up. Justice from the ground up.
We welcome you back here for some news and notes on ESPN Plus. Mark Schoenster here with you for halftime between Forward Madison and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. First off, welcome Ronaldinho to the USL League One party. It was announced earlier this week that he was joining the ownership group in the Greenville Triumph. So, I mean, that's a fantastic addition to the League One party. And speaking of additions, Corpus Christi is getting a USL League One franchise. So, I mean, the pool of teams in this league is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Meanwhile, the Owls got the win earlier. They are right on the cusp of winning another Players' Shield. It would be the third time they would win the Players' Shield in league history. So they're right there after coming back and winning the game earlier against Lexington. It's all but guaranteed for Dominic Casciato's side. The Mingos are really the only team that can stop them. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Dairyland for Forward Madison. A game at home against One Knoxville before they close out the season, the regular season that is, on the road against Northern Colorado. They'll try to get a little bit of payback for that Jägermeister Cup loss, but we know the season is not done for them because they've guaranteed a playoff spot. They're looking to lock up a home playoff game at the very least. That will start in November, most likely November 2nd. That's the first Saturday of November, but sometimes schedules shift around. It could be that Friday, that Sunday, but the fact of the matter is they still got more games than the two that are on the docket officially scheduled at this moment. The Mingos will be there for the USL League One playoffs. Now, Chattanooga, on the other hand, trying to get there. They are certainly still in the conversation. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the situation as far as the playoff race is concerned. Here are our standings brought to you by Dairyland Insurance as well. And lo and behold, this is what it looked like going into the day. Chattanooga, with a victory, would hop into that spot against the Richmond Kickers, or as opposed to the Richmond Kickers, right before going against the Richmond Kickers next week in what could be a huge, huge game between those two. Meanwhile, the Mingos, the only team that could potentially surpass Union Omaha for that Players' Shield. But the Owls got 3 more points earlier today, making it all but theirs in that conversation. So with that in mind, we're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, highlights and stats in the second half.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
It's an S.
On that back. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground up. Justice from the ground up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
We're back with the second half impending here between the Mingos and the Red Wolves on ESPN+. But we're at the tail end of our halftime show brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. We've got the highlights and we've got the stats here before we kick it off for another 45 minutes between these two sides. Let's see how the first 45 minutes went. Madison, Chattanooga, 4th meeting of the season. These highlights brought to you by Just Coffee Cooperative. Madison having a bulk of the possession, trying to break through early. They had really all of the possession for the first 15 to 20 minutes of this game, asking questions, trying to pry it through. For the Red Wolves, resilient at every step of the way. And then they'd get one breakaway chance here. Pedro Hernandez. Might have been the first time that the team was able to combine a couple of passes together in the entire game, and it nearly resulted in a 1-0 lead. Speaking of the ball breaking that line, it technically does there, but Christian Chaney bullying his way into TJ Bush, so it wasn't to be there. And another opportunity here. Ropapa Mensah couldn't finish it. And these are your halftime stats now, brought to you by Rhyme. 67% of possession in favor of Matt Glazer's side. But look, it's 0-0 between the two sides. And when you look at the expected goals, which obviously, take that info as you will, Chattanooga actually have the advantage at 0.89 to Madison's 0.72. So if you're Scott McKenzie, your side hasn't budged defensively. You've had a couple opportunities on the offensive end. And really, when you come into a tough road environment, the concoction, the equation to get all 3 points sometimes is to just bunker in, withstand the attacks, and then when your moment comes, get that quick goal, take the lead, and get out of there with 3 points. But he's got to be pleased with how his team has withstood the pressure so far. Meanwhile, the Mingos looking for that extra bit of quality to break through. Of course, we welcome in all you Madison fans and Chattanooga fans tuning in on ESPN+, any third-party enjoyers as well. And we particularly welcome any Union Omaha fans who are tuning in following their victory against Lexington. It's worth noting, with 42 points now this season, the only team that can surpass Union Omaha in the standings are forward Madison, as this one slips through for Gebhard. TJ Bush gets there. They'll quickly distribute it. Here's the fact of the situation. If Madison do not win this game, Union Omaha clinch the Player Shield, making them back-to-back Player Shield champions in a third Player Shield in the club's history. Just been truly an impressive club and culture in Union Omaha since joining the league in its second season. But Madison, of course, will be looking to, at the very least, stave off that celebration for a little while longer by getting 3 points here. That's at the top end of the standings, with Madison and Omaha, of course, on this end. The Chattanooga Red Wolves just looking to keep their season alive into November. If they win this game against Madison, they would be tied on points with the Richmond Kickers, but would have the tiebreaker in wins. So they would sit in 8th place. The Richmond Kickers would slip down to 9th, with an oh so enticing matchup next week between the two of them. Worth noting, no personnel changes for either side coming out of the halftime break. So certainly lots to play for in this game, even if they're coming from different sets of circumstances. Kroll plays this one up. Here's Galindrez. Able to dance his way out of that one, running right into Stefan Lukic. Some of these other results around the league, of course. Already talked about that 2-1 win for Union Omaha to start the day in USL League One. Lexington had the 1-0 lead, but then a penalty and red card leveled the game back up at 1 apiece, and then Omaha would score late in the game. Luca Mastrantonio with the game winner. That's going to be a foul on Ropapa Mensah. Matt Glazer going over to check on his guy. Jake Kroll back up on his feet. Mensah, big striker himself, 6'1". Got some quickness to him as well. And all of that mess, the yellow card has been given out, not to Ropapa Mensah, but to Scott McKenzie for Chattanooga. Devin Boyce makes this one back. Of course, we've got this game 0-0 right now. And elsewhere, kicking off at a similar time as us after the weather delay held this game back an hour. The Charlotte Independence and Northern Colorado doing battle. 1-1 between the two of them there. Dustin Correa and Patrick Langlois having scored in that one. They're also in the second half. Those are two teams that are more so in Madison's situation of having already guaranteed a playoff spot. Now it's just a matter of where they seed themselves. And although one could say that means these games are more important for the teams that are still vying for a playoff spot, but the fact of the matter is come the playoffs, you're gonna feel a lot better when you don't have to travel for a playoff game. Well, we're actually gonna get a correction here after earlier saying it wasn't Ropapa Mensah who got the yellow card. It actually was Ropapa Mensah who got the yellow card. So Scott McKenzie still squeaky clean as far as the bookings are concerned here this evening. And Mensah, who maybe would have anticipated getting the yellow card in that situation, is actually the one who is booked. That yellow card brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. Jamil Roberts, no nonsense there. Gets his leg up to clear that one out. So I asked Scott McKenzie how his side has to balance the needing to find results here, needing to find 3 points versus sticking to your guns and playing the way you got to play. And he said, really, it's not a balance at all. You do not say that we need 3 points because that's just going to create additional pressure. He said, look, it's a pretty new group, roster composition-wise, but in Chattanooga, there is an expectation of success. As Macias picks the pocket, steps to his left, shoots, and he scores! Opportunistic, Aiden Macias gives the Mingos the lead. Steals the ball away, and then blasts that one home. You see it here. He saw the moment, stepped on it, makes a nice touch, steps to his left, and lets it fly. The Englishman with his 4th goal of the season. And that looks like he might be calling for a substitution. Used up the rest of his tank potentially to give his team the lead. 4th goal of the year for the Englishman. That goal brought to you by Dairyland and by Aiden Macias, of course. Stepping in, ripping the ball away from Pedro Hernandez. Shakes off Owen Green. And then puts his laces through it. 2nd year with the club. Coming over from SSV Ulm, 1846, which is within the German soccer pyramid. Macias is gonna make his way out, and he'll be replaced by the man that he replaced in the starting lineup. John Murphy will get himself ready to go. So ultimately a Madison team that up to this point had been trying to create a goal through possession, as they oh so often do. It was actually just a moment where the individual recognized a chance was to be had. So he took initiative and made it happen. Elegant work from Aiden Macias. Another look on the Dairyland replay. It's a good way to end your shift. So he'll step out. And John Murphy, you can see number 6 at the right-hand portion of your screen, steps in for Aiden Macias. That substitution brought to you by Festival Foods. So the Mingos have the lead. But Chattanooga find themselves playing from behind, and they haven't had a ton of possession. We'll see how much things change tactically for them, or if they're going to stick to their guns. Scott McKenzie told me a lot of teams deserve certain results. A lot of teams deserve to make the playoffs, but it's not about what you want. It's about putting on good performances. And he says, look, we have 3 games to put on good performances. And we can't say in any given game that we need 3 points. Just got to put your best foot forward. And then you hope that the results come with it and they take care of themselves, and you end up in the position in the table you deserve to end up in. So as I was saying earlier, when it comes to a balance of recognizing the situation you're in versus sticking to how you play and not tweaking things, he says it's a 100% to 0% distribution there. That's a respectable way to approach it. But now, this Chattanooga side down a goal. And that changes their positioning in the standings, because although they stay in that 10th place spot, every single point so valuable here. Richmond Kickers at 21 points, Tormenta at 20, and then Chattanooga 2 points behind that, with 2 games to go. That makes things very tight, should the results stand, of course. We're gonna get a Canopy Wealth Management corner kick here for Forward Madison. Canopy Wealth Management is donating $50 to Forward Madison FC's mini pitch fundraising project for each home corner kick taken by Forward Madison FC. On the Mango side of things, they can postpone the Player Shield celebrations for Union Omaha. It would keep them 4 points behind the Owls, with both teams having 2 games to go. Kroll rolling that one, and a whistle is blown. Stefan Lukic down on the turf, and perhaps that is the reason why we're getting a free kick here for Chattanooga. Will launch this one up the field. Here's Galindrez issuing that one out to Gebhard. Stephen Payne Brings that one in. Still Payne. Lost it inside for Cheney! He was able to square up for that header, but TJ Bush makes the stop. Looking to double the advantage and really put themselves in a comfortable spot. Now Gebhard carrying it forward. Leaves it for Galindrez. Villalobos over to Kroll. He'll take it out wide. Here comes the cross now. Headed down, still in the fray. Galindrez fights for it off the crossbar. Juggling effort, and that one will sail out of play. Turned into a bit of a mess there in the penalty area. Juan Galindrez just hitting the woodwork though. So here's the previous chance. Christian Cheney heads it in. Good save by TJ Bush. Then another chance here. Payne heads it down. Cheney couldn't get to it. Juan Galindrez, I think he went through Pedro Hernandez to get to that ball. A messy opportunity, but an opportunity right in front of goal. But we remain at 1-0. Gebhard down that left-hand side. Gebhard gets it across, just ahead of Christian Cheney. Kept in play, though. Kroll. Now Gebhard, another lofted ball in, caught by TJ Bush. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Step there, Timmy Mel. A very interesting ball going forward. Right now it's Madison who are looking the more promising side to find another goal in this one. They're up 1-0, trying to find some padding here. Very interesting the way the dichotomy of this league has developed here as far as the standings are concerned this season. You've got the top half that are fighting for seeding and the bottom half who are fighting for that final playoff spot. So it results in those teams, those top 7 or so teams, vying for Madison and the other members of that group to drop points. Meanwhile, the teams that are in that bottom half are looking for Chattanooga to drop points, and obviously that seems like a pretty, of course, situation, but it is a very harsh line between where your team sits as far as what teams you want to get results and which teams you don't want to get results. As we get a substitution for Scott McKenzie's side, and it's an aggressive one. Owen Green out, Mael Malongo in. So that's something that certainly indicates some tactical tweaks. Will they pay off Maya Malongo? Boy, is he explosive. He can make things happen. He's come in with a little bit of a fire, but maybe too much of it. Certainly grabbed, I believe, Juan Galindres there, and then made unnecessary contact with Derek Gebhardt. Malongo making the run here. One-on-one, but backup is coming. Kroll attacks that one away from Malongo. Gives it to Gebhardt. Well composed there from Madison. And Gebhardt just streaking along the touchline. Pushed over by Walefi. Madison free kick now. Walefi and Derek Gebhardt, the two in that exchange. Longtime members of their respective teams. Of course, Walefi in his 6th season with Chattanooga, which means that he's been here for every year for Chattanooga. Meanwhile, Derek Gebhardt in his 4th year. Both, of course, the longest serving members of their respective clubs. Mel. What a nice little pass forward. Knock it out wide to Payne. Here's Payne's service. Lukic. Couldn't quite get that one out of the fray. Cheney now. It's that one ushered away from him. Maya Malongo running forward, connects with Lukic. Coutinho. Could be dangerous in open space. Chips it up ahead for Lukic. Malongo's in the center. Lukic tried to drill it inside. They'll pick up the pieces in Chattanooga. We'll see if they can conjure up a moment here. Coutinho lets it fly, headed down and in! Ropapa Mensah rises up for the challenge. We are back to level standing here at Breese Stevens Field. It's a wonderful ball from Lucas Coutinho. And a rigorous finish from Ropapa Mensah. Put it right where his striker could get it, and nobody else. And he just slides that one inside. A tight window between Bernd Shipman and the near post. And Ropapa Mensah, with his 9th goal of the season, continues his impressive year. So that substitution with Maya Malongo immediately resulted in offensive opportunities for Chattanooga. And now we're gonna get some changes here for Matt Glazer. You see Sosa and Prentice readying themselves. Juan Galindres will come out, and so will Stephen Payne. So again, Wolfgang Prentice for Juan Galindres and Ferretti Sosa for Stephen Payne. These substitutions brought to you by Festival Foods. It is a competitive room on the offensive side of the ball. Juan Galindres this past week scoring a goal in back-to-back games. Made me wonder about, especially him and Christian Cheney in general, as those two prototypical top of the formation strikers. As Lukic plays this one over to Malongo. Our Chattanooga pushing forward again here. Coutinho. Another nice looking ball coming in, but this time Bernd Shipman gets on the end of it. Level at 1 apiece. A result on the road would be good for Chattanooga. Of course, 3 points would be even better. Meanwhile, if this result holds, Union Omaha would clinch up that player shield for the second year in a row. I think you can expect both these teams to go for all 3 points here as this game goes on. Prentice feeding it inside. Hernandez trying to clear it. Christian Chaney got in the way. It will be a Chattanooga throw deep in their own territory. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Hernandez turning up the field and will roll out of play. Madison will quickly throw it in. I'll look to see if they can find an offensive output from whether it be the starters, some of these substitutions that have come on. Ultimately, it's been a very intense group, all hungry for goals on the offensive side of things for Matt Glazer. And this one going out for a corner kick. Another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick, to be precise. And Wolfgang Prentice, now having subbed into the game, will take over corner kick taking duties. Prentice drives it inside. Headed away. Gebhardt has some space. Couldn't bring it down cleanly. And the following shot sails harmlessly overhead. He had so much room there, but his touch just got away from him a little bit. $20 more minutes to go. Whistle blows, free kick for Chattanooga. Worth mentioning Ropapa Mensah with the equalizer here, as John Murphy gets his 7th yellow card of the season. Mensah with that goal goes up to 9 this season. Coming into today, he was tied for 4th with 8 goals. That 9th goal keeps him at tied for 4th because one of those other players who had 8 was Pedro Dolabella, who scored his 9th from the penalty spot in the game earlier today. Murphy immediately looking apologetic after tripping up, I believe, Omar Hernandez there. Malongo trying to head that one along. Gebhardt being ushered into the corner. Still Gebhardt. It ends up being tapped out by Declan Waters for a Madison throw-in. From Blue Hill, Maine to Madison for Derek Gebhardt. Matt Glazer what exactly he learned about his guys last week, given the tumultuous stretch of games on the road. And he said, we learned that we have it in us. Our mentality is important, and we proved that with a chip on our shoulder. We are a tough team to beat. He was really proud of their resilience. He said they could have easily thrown in the towel, but they didn't. Could have said, well, an unfair hand has been dealt to us. And I mean, who would expect to get results in these games? But they're able to get 4 points after a Cup final loss. That's quite the bounce back, especially given the extra circumstances on top of it. Wolfgang Prentice plays this to Kroll. Villalobos to Kroll. And they prove some resilience here again, Madison. Prentice. Kroll slips it through to Boyce. Pedro Hernandez interjected there, and we've got another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick. It'll be Boyce from the left corner flag. Driving it in, headed away, referee blows his whistle. There'll be a free kick for the Red Wolves here. Substitution getting ready for Scott McKenzie's side, and it will take place here. Michael Knapp will step in, and Walefi will take his leave for the night. So the 24-year-old steps in. Look to see if he can provide that little edge that Chattanooga need here on the road. This is the fourth meeting this season between these two teams. Madison has won all three of the previous meetings. Currently sit at a tied result as it stands right now. Last time these two teams met here, though, Devin Boyce scoring the game winner, 69th minute. And Wolfgang Prentice scoring a game winner in the very previous meeting, though in Chattanooga, in the 65th minute. Can Madison recreate the same result for the fourth time? Can Chattanooga flip the script here, or will we stay where we're at right now? This one going out for a Chattanooga throw. The USL League One is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. See two substitutions preparing themselves for Matt Glazer. That one looked like it went off the hand of Wolfgang Prentice. Play goes on. Ball glances out. And we're gonna get two substitutions for the Mingos. Jimmy Villalobos steps out. Garrett McLaughlin comes in. It's definitely an aggressive change, brought to you by Festival Foods. And then Derek Gebhard leaves, and Sharif J will make his entrance. Three points on the mind for both these teams. But who, if either, will claim it? Boyce stepping forward. Lofts that one down the field, looking for Cheney. And it will be a Madison free kick just outside the penalty area. Christian Cheney toppled over there. Here's a look on the Dairyland replay. Pedro Hernandez flying in, also may have had an arm to the back of the head of Christian Cheney. It's tight quarters for a shot on goal. What will the Mingos cook up? See Christian Chaney still ailing a little bit as that Chattanooga wall builds up. Last time we were in a situation like this, Stefan Lukic took a fastball to the face. It's Garrett McLaughlin alone by the dead ball. And the reigning USL League One champ create a moment here. Garrett McLaughlin off the wall, heads it inside, nodded away. Prentice trying to send that one in, headed along. Mingo's back at it once again. Prentice trying to wheel around the outside, gets the cross off. Several Mingo players were there, couldn't finish. A trio of forward Madison players all couldn't make contact with it. Oh my goodness. And some of the most potent scorers on the Madison team to boot. So with 10 minutes to go, it is 1 goal apiece here. Malongo, the Kroll, tracking back there. Here's a look again here. Jay, Boyce, and Chaney all there. Chaney was looking to attempt the ball, realizes two better options are behind him, so he ducks. And then Jay and Boyce both can't make contact with it. So it trickles all the way through. Hernandez along that line, trying to tap it ahead to Malongo. Ball still in play. Hernandez showing some of that effort. Scott McKenzie told me that a lot of people would say, by the common definition of talented, that Pedro Hernandez would not fit that description. But Hernandez is such a hard worker, and Scott McKenzie considers that a talent. He has that effort in abundance. He counter presses. He's had some great moments here in recent games. He's one of the most competitive players in the league. And if you do consider hard work and effort a talent, then he is one of the most talented players in the league through that metric alone. Right there, he was able to earn his side an opportunity. We've got a free kick now. Lukic. Long ball in, headed upward. Still bouncing around. And some contact on Declan Waters, or by Declan Waters, I should say. Means the contact and that effort will end in some angry dissent from Chattanooga, will result in a yellow card. Michael Knapp getting his 3rd of the season. Here's the Mingos on the other end. Opportunity still going. Ball's out, they'll hold play for grounded Red Wolf, and it's Jameel Roberts. And there's confirmation of the yellow card brought to you by Dairyland on Michael Knapp. Let's take a look at what just transpired on that last play as everything gets disseminated here. Jay, it's a sliding challenge from Jameel Roberts, and he's hurting a little bit after that challenge, and then Lucas Coutinho, you'll see, actually goes down here as well. So two different players on the turf for Chattanooga. Roberts, the one we're seeing here, get tended to. Chance for both teams to catch a breather as we approach the final moments of this game. 5 more minutes to go, plus whatever gets tacked on by Atahan Yaya. A reminder of where action will resume here on a Madison throw-in. Right in front of the flock end. Who retreated to a goal right before their very eyes to give their team the lead. But Ropapa Mensah found an answer off a beautiful cross. Lucas Coutinho getting his first assist as a Chattanooga Red Wolf. Coutinho back up on his feet. Jameel Roberts will sit on the sideline, wait to be waved back on. Everything's copacetic, so action resumes. Kroll. Play this over to Osmond, who rotates it out to the right-hand side. Mel. Sends this one across. Prentice has to chase his touch. It's cleared. This is an example of what Mark Shipman does, even when he's not making saves. Always a part of that distribution. We're going to go from one end to the other, but Christian Cheney noticed the ball was losing some velocity. Now Lukic plays it ahead for Mael Malongo. Malongo into the 18, squares it across, but it's behind Mensah. Here's Coutinho, saved. Couldn't find Mensah at the penalty marker, but Lucas Coutinho still asking the questions. A big moment there for Chattanooga, could not be capitalized. Now Prentice making his approach. Cross comes in, headed upward, not entirely outward. But Knapp handles that end of the business. Sosa cutting inside. Sends that ball across, and Cheney trying for something magnificent, and now we've got some extracurriculars. And a fan getting involved too. We need to clear this up. Looks like the players are trying to clear it up. Mitch Osmond trying to get between the fans and the Chattanooga Red Wolves players. You never want a situation where you've got fans grabbing and making contact with players of the visiting team. Nothing good can come from that. It will be a corner kick because through Christian Cheney's acrobatics, he was able to win a glance off a Chattanooga defender. So it will be a Canopy Wealth Management corner kick. So, Devin Boyce will whip in the cross. As we approach the 90th allocated minute. Boyce's service claimed by Bush. I should say, approaching 90 minutes total. We'll see how much is added on. We had 7 minutes of added time in the first half, and might get a good, wealthy amount of minutes added on here, too. And lo and behold, we're going to get 9 minutes of Just Coffee Co-op stoppage time. McLaughlin inside, loses his footing, and it's a point to the spot. A big moment for Madison, and a tough one for Chattanooga. Garrett McLaughlin slicing inside. Gets knocked over as he's approaching goal. Michael Knapp bemoaning his fate. McLaughlin last year and in years prior with North Carolina has been able to draw penalties, but really not a lot of selling work had to be done there from Garrett McLaughlin. The challenge goes into his legs, knocks him over. And Mitch Osmond will hold it and then hand it off to Christian Cheney. One of the premier goal-scoring options on this Madison team. Looking for his 6th goal in regular season play. And this one to give Madison the advantage. One-on-one with TJ Bush. No one has more saves in the league this year than him. Cheney approaches, and Cheney finishes. Forward Madison with a late lead here. Have they secured 3 points? We've got about 7 or more minutes to go. We'll see if they can hold on to that lead, or if Chattanooga can find another response. But as of this moment, Madison in a really promising state. Delicately done. And of course, this is just trademark at this point. You know, sometimes I wonder if the coaching staff holds their breath every time Christian Cheney performs that celebration. He's done it so many times, though, it's practically second nature. His 6th goal this season in league play, that is. He also had quite a few in the Jägermeister Cup. Chattanooga winning the ball back in the penalty area. Shot by Hernandez. Malongo lets it fly himself. So a quick opportunity here for Chattanooga. Looked like Madison were going to handle it, but it's that effort from Pedro Hernandez that gifted an opportunity to the Red Wolves. But it will end up being a goal kick at the end of things. Chattanooga won't go out lightly. Cheney keeping along that sideline, and a couple of whistle blows. It's going to be a yellow card to Christian Cheney. His 6th yellow card of the season, so he's gotten his 6th goal and his 6th yellow card in this game. We'll start seeing more and more venturing balls forward for Chattanooga as they search for an equalizer here. Every point matters here as far as the playoff race is concerned. Mel tosses this one in, headed along and out for another Madison throw. Worth reminding, should the result hold, that would mean that the player shield is not locked up yet for Omaha. Madison still in that conversation. Madison fans enjoying this one. We did get substitutions at some point in time, probably after the goal was scored, as TJ Bush has to dribble that one far away from home in order to get that clearance. Prentice in the corner, which is where he'll camp. And it's rolled out for a goal kick. So now we'll actually get to official confirmation of those substitutions. Toby John Hope coming in for Jamil Roberts, and Leopoldo Hernandez subbing in for Omar Hernandez. Those happened after the goal. Yellow card, I believe, was pointed to the Chattanooga bench. Scott McKenzie, one being given the book. Malongo. Bested there by Jay. Sharif Jay now rolling this one down the field. Cheney springing forward McLaughlin, but it was caught up in his ankles. Now Knapp plays it up ahead for Coutinho. And then this one lofted up ahead. Just a way to kill some time here. Under 2 minutes to go. It may get a little extra, though, due to the Madison penalty and the goal that ensued. Amigos currently staring at 4 wins on the season against Chattanooga, which is impressive to do against anybody. Coutinho, forward to Malongo, claimed by Burnt Shipman. Given the way things sat in the standings, Madison can't guarantee themselves a home playoff game, even with the win here and results going any certain configuration in the other games. But they're awfully close to it, should they claim all 3 points here. The player down at the moment Bernd Shipman going over to console his teammate, which is Jacob Kroll. Shipman donning the pink goalkeeper uni today. This is the breast cancer awareness goalkeeper kit, which you can also find yourself if you're a Madison fan, as Devin Boyce goes into the books for the 7th time this season. So we've now hit the 9 minutes. I'm sure this isn't the last moment of the game, though, as there have been several moments of stoppage here in the extra 9 minutes. As much time wasting as Shipman could possibly do. And Michael Knapp needs to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. And jumping over Christian Cheney there. Not the first time Christian Cheney has been hit in the back of the head here in an aerial duel. Definitely be needing some ice later. Murphy chipping it over to Sharif J. Chattanooga have any more chances in this one? Lukic carrying it forward. Long ball up ahead, looking for Malongo. Well dealt with by the Mingos. McLaughlin sending this one up ahead, offside flag goes up. And there may be a yellow card coming for Sharif J there for kicking that ball away well after the whistle. That's his 2nd yellow of the season. And at this point, I almost would anticipate TJ Bush taking this free kick and everybody else committing forward. And lo and behold. That's certainly not where the foul took place. Or the offsides, at least. This ball headed away for a Chattanooga throw. Hernandez to Coutinho, trying to return the favor. It's booted away. Another Chattanooga throw. Well into triple digits now. Is there another moment of drama here? Madison, keep it in play. Playing it up ahead. Boyce gets it taken away from him. Lob ball up ahead. And John Hope couldn't get on the end of it. Bernd Shipman is there. And victory has been claimed by the Mingos. A 4-game series sweep for Forward Madison against Chattanooga. They have claimed 12 points against the Red Wolves this season. Twice in the Jägermeister Cup, twice in the regular season. And it took a goal from Aiden Macias early on, and then a penalty to win the game in added time by Christian Cheney. 2-1 is your final score, brought to you by Rhyme. Matt Glazer's side keeps the Players' Shield conversation going. Now it's time to give out some of our post-game awards. First off, we're gonna go with Save of the Game, which is brought to you by Electric E-Bikes. Take that moment to look at it here. This one early on in the game, 0-0. Pedro Hernandez, read by Bernd Shipman, coming off his line, going right to the perimeter of the 18. He makes the save. Couple of big moments defensively for Madison. This one that, if they hadn't been executed, would have really changed the way this one went. Here is our play of the match, brought to you by Dairyland. Aiden Macias with the pickpocket and finish, giving Forward Madison the 1-0 lead. He'd sub off immediately after that. Big moment for Aiden Macias. 1-0 your scoreline there. And now we have one more award to hand out, and that is our man of the match, brought to you by Festival Foods, and it's Christian Cheney. Scored the game winner, and as always, is a big presence up top. Drawed a couple of fouls on aerial balls. Was able to win the corner kick acrobatically near the end of the game. Not much later, the penalty would be drawn by Garrett McLaughlin, and Cheney would finish it off. So he gets another game winner to his name. And now he's won man of the match. We still have a couple of more loose ends to tie up on the other end of this break, but your final score here, Forward Madison 2, Chattanooga Red Wolves 1.
This isn't just your normal bike. It folds, it unfolds, and it just goes. Need to climb that hill? No problem. And if you're looking for speed, well, you've come to the right place. 28 miles per hour, up to 65 miles of range. And equipped with hydraulic brakes, this is the Electric XP 3.0. Fully foldable, fully assembled, ships free. Simple as that. Go to electricebikes.com and come ride with us.
It's an S.
On that back. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Justicia.
Justice.
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 Justice from the ground up. Justice from the ground up.
Tomorrow, we've been expecting you. At TrueStage, we've been preparing for tomorrow for almost a century, helping businesses give their customers, members, and clients what they need to move forward with confidence. Because for us, the future brings possibility, protection, innovation, growth. With financial solutions across insurance, investments, and technology, the people you serve can take on tomorrow, today. So what are you waiting for? Tomorrow, here we are.
A stoppage time penalty from Christian Cheney gives Forward Madison the 2-1 victory over the Chattanooga Red Wolves. We welcome you in for our post-game thoughts here on ESPN+. 2-1 your final score. Let's find out how we got to this point with our full-time highlights, brought to you by Just Coffee Cooperative. Was a fun one throughout. Flamingos got off to an early start in this one. This was just a couple of moments into the game, saved by TJ Bush. And then this, the big save by Bernd Shipman on the other side, stopping Pedro Hernandez on really the first moment of possession for Chattanooga the entire game. Then we get into the second half. Aiden Macias, I'll take that. Slips by Owen Green and gets the job done. First goal of the game, 1-0 Mingos. And now Chattanooga have to find an answer to keep this one in the conversation. But Madison would be the ones to ask them questions after that first. They would pepper with a couple of chances, a couple of opportunities, just couldn't find the back of the net. This one, oh so close for Galindrez, but he puts it too high off the crossbar. And then Lucas Coutinho take a bow with this cross. Perfectly placed, and then perfectly headed down. Bernd Shipman went high, where Papa Mensah nodded it down low, giving the Red Wolves an equalizer there. And then Mael Malongo, huge moment in this game. Late on, Chattanooga nearly with the opportunity to take the lead. They couldn't, and then Garrett McLaughlin streaking in, gets fouled, draws the penalty, gives an enthusiastic arm thrust, and then Christian Cheney gives a composed finish. 2-1 your final score. Forward Madison with an exciting finish to this one. They've now got 38 points this season, which keeps them in second place. Here are your full-time stats brought to you by Rhyme. Possession heavily in favor of the Mingos. More shots and more shots on target, but not by a large margin despite the possession disparity. Chattanooga had some great chances in this one, and it ultimately came down to who converted in their given moments. It was the Mingos at the end of the day in front of their surging home crowd to get the job done. They can't quite guarantee themselves a playoff spot here at the end of the night. A home playoff spot, that is, for a home playoff match. But they are right on the doorstep of doing just that. And they are still in the mix for the Players' Shield, just behind Union Omaha by 4 points. So that's that. We appreciate you tuning in this evening. One more game to go tonight between the Spokane Velocity and the Greenville Triumph. That one's actually already kicked off, so feel free to switch over to that one on ESPN Plus as we wrap up here on this broadcast, our entire broadcasting crew. I'm Mark Schoenster. We appreciate you tuning in. We hope you had a fantastic time. We certainly had. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Your final score, Forward Madison 2, Chattanooga Red Wolves 1. We'll see you next week if we don't see you later tonight between Greenville and Spokane.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.